Stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started. First, Starbucks coffee made in a percolator. Yum. Just really good. I know when I roast my own coffee, it's as good or better than this. Easily. Someone said, what are you going to do when they manufacture a coffee shortage? My reply is, I'll be stirring water with chopsticks. Just as long as there's not a chopsticks shortage, we'll be okay. Stefan Aarnio posted his videos. Stefan Aarnio died yesterday morning, according to his assistant. Early 30s, brilliant young man, author of many books. Met him last year. And I have a weird Stefan Aarnio story. Last spring, I got a call from an assistant at his company that said, Stefan Aarnio, the host of the show called Respect the Grind, would like you to be on his show. I said, okay, let's do it. And last year I was on a lot of podcasts as a guest. And I said, how did you find out about me? And the assistant said, Stefan is a big fan of yours, watches your videos and your Instagram. I thought, oh, okay, cool. Time went by. And I knew eventually I would end up being on the show. And then I was speaking at the 21 convention, and boom, he was there as a speaker. And I met him. We hit it off right away. He was more of a fan of mine because he had been watching me for a long time. And I thought that was pretty cool. But then I saw him speak on stage, and he was tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. I give it a 10 out of 10. I should put the link to his speech down below so you can see it. I give it a 10 out of 10. That's how good it was. And we hung out for 4 days. Got to know him. I interviewed him in the studio. And then I became a big fan of his. It's interesting how that works. How you end up becoming fans of your fans. And I love that dynamic. And that's what my interviews are when I do my Skype interviews. I have one I'm uploading today of a gal who is a fan of this channel, who is an entertainer, a Broadway entertainer. And I got to know her a little bit and interviewed her. So that video will be uploading. And now I'm a fan of her talent. And it's a beautiful thing how that works. Many times people think that someone who has a larger YouTube following and does seminars, workshops, and speaks and so forth, travels and speaks, that they don't interact with their audience. It's just the opposite with me. I love interacting with you. Love it. And I'm interested in you and what you do and how things are going for you. It's not a weird, unnatural obsession with you. I'm genuinely interested in you. Just thought I'd share that with you. So when you see the upload today of the interview that I did with the girl, you can see I still kind of have mask face. My beard has like a circle on it, you know, from wearing this all day yesterday. And I came home and then did the interview. It's funny, you see this circle. It only goes away after I take a shower, a hot shower, and then the beard comes back to normal. But until then, it has mask beard. But I'm sorry for Stefan Aarnio. Still thinking about it. Still thinking about it. It's a shame. So I went back and I looked at the emails that I had exchanged with him, his texts. I called him yesterday because I wasn't sure if it was real or not. So I called his phone texted him, nothing. So it's true. Stefan Aarnio gone, such a young age. Early 30s, maybe 31. You could have been living the dream instead of wishing, hoping, and merely talking about it. However, one must live with the choices they make and deal with the consequences that accompany those choices. And because of just sitting back instead of acting on your thoughts, you embody the quote, doing the same thing and expecting a different result. My friend, let me tell you something. Years go by. Years. Literally. Right now, you think in terms of months. You will get to the point where you start thinking about years, and then you get to a certain point where you start thinking of decades. The decades will fly by. You can be in a rut, not for months. Yeah, I was in a rut this past winter. You don't know what a rut is until you've been in it for 10 years. And you will be in a rut for 10 years if you don't act. And you will speak of decades as if they are a day. Everyone thinks it could never happen to me. How much coffee do you drink? I'm usually a 2-cup person. This is my first cup. I will have another cup of coffee after this while I'm reading. If I'm motivated, I'll make a cup of bulletproof coffee, turn my second cup into a cup of bulletproof. So usually about now, I start getting off of the 2 cups. I still do 2 cups when it's a little chilly outside. The minute it starts becoming later spring and I start feeling that it's warm in the morning, and I'm not wearing a sweatshirt in the morning or a hat, I just naturally move to 1 cup. And I'm happy. And warmer weather decreases my desire for 2 cups of coffee. I know when I'm in Florida, I'm happy with 1 cup of coffee. That's it. I'm good. 1 good cup of coffee. And then it'll be that way till November. How about you? Tell me, what do you drink? How much? Are you a 1, a 2, a whole pot of coffee? What do you do? There's 3 kinds of people in the world right now: the enslaved, the enslaver, and the free. I tweeted that in 2010. 2010. How prophetic. Think about that. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I said that. I'm absolutely convinced, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that stress is more toxic than the junk you put in your body. Stress will kill you. Stress is poison. What are you under stress with right now? Work, relationship, marriage, divorce, separation, financial issues. Where is there stress in your life? You need to eliminate it at all costs. At all costs. And you can't do it chemically. You can treat the symptoms chemically by having a cocktail or 2 at night, taking a pill, taking a Benadryl, going to sleep. Problems are gone for 6 to 8 hours. So you think. Then you wake up to what? Your problems and your stress. Eliminate stress at its origin. That's absolute key. Where is there stress in your life? Put your answer down below. I'd like to see where you feel stress. Where is it? Went to Wendy's for lunch yesterday. Quick lunch. I had just a few minutes. I didn't bring anything with me for lunch. You can only have 1 beef product, 1 burger. Usually, I like the double bacon, the junior double bacon cheeseburger kind of thing. You can have 1. That's it, 1. Literally, Taco Bell, no beef products. None. No taco meat at all. I predicted it almost 2 years ago when I saw the war on meat That's about the time that I started doing carnivore on and off. Meat shortage. No chicken at BJ's or Costco near me. No chicken. And you can only buy one package of beef. What is this, the Soviet Union? I watched Grant Cardone and his wife do a show yesterday. He says, I used to come home to a home, now I come home to an office. Work needs to be separate from your home. That was almost an uncomfortable episode to watch, because now she's working at the kitchen table, at the bar. She has it set up as an office. I have some ideas about that, some opinions about that. I used to come home to a home, now I come home to an office. There's a lot of men that used to come home to a wife, now they come home to a business partner. That's something to think about, right? You pedestalized her, which means you exaggerated how special she was. You thought you were just being cool and nice and complimentary to her. You couldn't keep your mouth shut about her on social media. You're lucky to have her. You're lucky that she put up with you all these years. She's pretty, so you keep posting pretty pictures of her. You pedestalized her. Now, she believes all the exaggerated claims that you posted about her. It's your problem now. And I'm not saying that she's not special. I'm not saying that she's not cool. I'm not saying that you don't love her, she doesn't love you. I'm not saying that. But, dude, you created a monster. Keep things real. You don't have to be an idiot about it, but keep things real. Keep it real. If you exaggerate your praise for her, she starts believing it. And then guess what? You just become a little servant. I've watched it happen more times than I can count. And I see it with men that I know all the time. I'm not saying don't praise your wife. I'm not saying that. I'm saying keep it real, realistic, not exaggerated. Monsters do get formed. Monsters create divorces. That is one of the ways that divorces get created. Here's your 2 dozen beans, a beef bone, loaf of bread, and a cup of rice. See you next Tuesday. We're almost there. I have grown a beard at different stages of my life, different types of beards. I might have had 5 or 6 times when I had a shaved face. I do know 3 of those times were when my children were born. I remember when this beard was black and kinky. Literally, I had a curly beard. It grew out like a corkscrew. Now it's straight. Once it was coarse like steel wool. Now it's soft like cotton. My beard has gone through as many changes as I have. And so will yours. Did you ever hear the phrase, if you've done nothing wrong, then there's nothing to worry about? Behold, now you have a whole new list of things that you can do wrong. You can go outside without a mask. You can go into a store without a mask, open up a barbershop or a salon. That's without having the approval of the state or the government. Are you understanding what tyranny is? Do you get it? Tyranny and communism starts with doing things for the greater good. Stay home for humanity. You know, the first time I saw that hashtag was stay home for humanity, was coming out of Italy, the biggest sheep country. The second biggest sheep country, Britain, the UK. In Brussels, they fold it up like a cheap suit. Not surprised. Germany, the EU, and guess who? Liberals in the United States. Folding up, turning each other in, staying home for humanity. You have now a whole new list of crimes that didn't exist a month ago. Isn't that a trip? It's a test run, and they won. When the people fear the government, it's called tyranny. When the government fears the people, it's called liberty. Do you want to live under liberty, or do you want to live under tyranny? Every barber is a jailhouse barber now. Black rubber gloves, a germaphobe afraid to touch anything, isopropyl alcohol on everything, fist bumps or elbow bumps instead of handshakes, clients in and out fast. Every barber be a jailhouse barber now. Now that I think about it, I haven't heard the phrase self-starter in years. Remember? Help wanted ads used to say, must be a self-starter. In other words, you don't need someone looking over your shoulder. So you take the initiative without being told what to do. Do self-starters exist anymore? That's what coaching does. Helps you be a self-starter. Get a little motivation that you're not getting anywhere else in life. What's the point of quoting scripture and getting all Jesus-y on social media if you don't honor your parents? Hey, if you're not calling your mom and dad, but you're quoting scripture and talking about how much it means to you, it means nothing. Clanging cymbal, empty noise. Enough already with all the Jesus scriptures and the Christian commentary if you can't stop by your mother and father's house. Enough already. I didn't say it. Someone else did. It's the only commandment that comes with a promise. Take that seriously. You can't pick and choose your promises. One of the reasons why I'm going to live past 100, my life will be long, because I honor my parents. Honoring your parents doesn't mean that you have to agree with them with everything they say and everything they've done, but you do have to honor them. I don't care how much of a dick a mother or a father were, or not. You honor them. It's your job to do that. A lot of people really liking the idea of a ranch or having land donated. I was thinking yesterday, I was looking at, there's a website called Abandoned Florida. I think there's abandoned, like all the states, abandoned Pennsylvania, abandoned Ohio, and there are many plots of ground that are abandoned. Old camps, old hotels, old lodges, perfectly good shape, just abandoned. And I thought, wow, wouldn't that make a great ranch? Put the studio on. There are people listening to this right now who have 40 acres that they're not using out of the 500 acres that they own. Wouldn't that be wonderful to be donated to a great cause or purchased for $1, something like that? And build a ranch. And I do the Daybreak show from there, as well as do the coaching, saving lives. Man, I wish I had that when I got divorced. Holy cow. I went into a tailspin. I didn't know what to do. I was put into a situation where I just didn't know what to do. And many, many, many years went by. And I wish I had. And I'll tell you what, the church wasn't a big help to me at all. At all. Actually, it set me back. I don't know if there's anything that exists like this today that I'm talking about. Because I was thinking about people who are writing me and saying, how much for coaching, how much for coaching? And I'm thinking, I would take gold and silver and land as payment. Makes more sense, I think. And if someone out there really believes in the mission of what's happening here, the sanity, the clarity, the reason, going to make sense to somebody. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason. What I don't want to do is keep a child a child. Sometimes it's time to put away the baby bottle and start eating solid food and mature and to grow up. If there is a young man or even a guy that's getting divorced and he's in his 50s and looks at me and says, man, you remind me of me. And he can learn one little thing to help that learning curve, to suffer a little bit less, to sleep a little bit better at night.